And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all the ships at sea. This is the John Lavenia Success Mastermind. I'm your host for today, Glen Henderson, and I'm so glad you are able to be with us. So we appreciate your taking the time to meet up with us and spend a little housekeeping right off the top of the bat. This is our general session today, immediately following which will be our hospitality suite. Swing by and say hello, chat about whatever you'd like. This evening at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Now, you folks on the other side of the lake will need to translate because I know you've just switched your clocks over. So 6 p.m. Eastern time, life and business tools with Adrian and Ego. And I understand there could be a surprise guest. No spoilers here. You'll just have to tune in and check it out. And then this evening, a little bit after that at 9 p.m. Eastern time, your humble and obedient servant with networking magic, ways to build your contact list, grow your business through the power of networking, which some amazing things are going on in the world these days. We'll talk about that. Well, you know what? Let's get right down to business. I'm not gonna run my mouth very long today because I would love to hear from you. I'm going to talk. I'll share with you what I was doing last week. I really appreciated some of the messages that I received from members and colleagues here within the mastermind. Glenn, welcome back. We missed you guys too. Well, I'll tell you what I was doing. If you hadn't heard, Paula and I went off the grid for a week, about a week. We went up to a beautiful place called Harper, Texas. If you know anything about the Texas map and the Texas countryside, what we did was jump in the truck and drive about 4 hours northwest of where we are. And we were in a place just outside of Fredericksburg, Texas, which if you know anything about that is absolutely gorgeous. I know, Stuart, you've seen it and been there, done that, and just fantastic, beautiful. Believe it or not, there are hills in Texas. And we were right in the middle of West Texas hill country. You know, there's some places, some businesses in Fredericksburg that turn out some pretty good wine, if you're interested. And another area of interest to some may be the Garrison Brothers Distillery is also located just outside of Fredericksburg, Texas. And that is some absolutely fabulous, very, very, my preference, my taste, very tasty bourbon. Yeah, you want Garrison Brothers bourbon? Bring a couple of credit cards. You know what I'm saying? So we had a wonderful time. Got to see some of the beautiful countryside and bought myself a cowboy shirt, which I may style sometime at one of our next dress up Fridays. And also had a wonderful experience. Wonderful. Got to see and have the happiest of reunions with an old friend. And by old, I refer only to the long-standing nature of our relationship. A lady that I've known through different business and other kinds of ventures since 1996. And we became friends at that time when we were both living in New York City. She's building a wonderful house right not that far from where we were, and really got to see her and catch up, and she got to meet Paula, which was marvelous. So it was a really, really good trip in that regard. Some of you know, I think I've mentioned that Paula has been fortunate enough. You know, I always hesitate to use that term. I was fortunate enough. I was lucky enough. I was blessed to do thus and such. All of which carry an element of truth. This is a complete tangent, just so you know. All of these terms carry an element of truth in them, if you know what I mean. Yes, I was lucky. Okay, let's talk about luck for 5 seconds. I firmly believe the old saying that luck is where preparation and opportunity meet. And so Paula, by that definition, yes, Paula was lucky enough to land a fabulous new job in her lifetime career profession of oil and gas industry. She's a geologist and the smartest person I've ever met. And she was just offered, she was actually in sort of semi-retirement, but was offered a position, and that, you know, they made her an offer she couldn't refuse. And now she is now in a position where she is able quite literally to bring her 35 years of industry experience to actually help an entire company do what they do better. She's absolutely loving it. After 3 months, it was time for a break. So Paula got to rest, recharge, refresh, and come back strong. And I finished the book. Hey! Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. So I've shared this as well. The title of the book, which once it's up for sale on Amazon, I shall give you the words. Matter of fact, I'll give you watch this space. I'll be sharing a countdown so that everybody knows when it's coming out. You may want to write down this title though. You ready? Ready? All I Need to Know About Success, I Learned from Star Trek. Yep, absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I'm excited. Let me share a moment of where this came from. Where this book came from. I have been living with the universe and the magic and the teachings and the foundational philosophy of Star Trek for half a century and then some. It has been one of the guiding principles, literally. The philosophies of Star Trek have been among the guiding principles of my life. And there's been a new generation now of people who've become interested because of the newer films and Star Trek Discovery, some of the newer series. What I'm discovering is that not everyone knows or is as familiar as some of us with the original series, Kirk and Spock and McCoy and Scotty and Uhura. Hold that thought. People are not everyone is as familiar with the next generation, Picard and Riker and Data. And anyway, I could go on and on, as you know. Did you know that Nichelle Nichols, the actor who portrayed Lieutenant Nyota Uhura in the original series, almost quit Star Trek after her first season with the show? She almost quit because she felt she was being typecast. And, you know, apparently this is a thing with actors. They don't want to be stuck in the same type of role for their whole career. So she was about to quit and move on to other things. She didn't quit, much to the joy of the rest of the world. Do you know why she didn't quit? Because she got a phone call. This was, now, by the way, this is in the mid-60s, 1966 through 1969. So in 1967, she was going to quit, Nichelle Nichols. She didn't because she got a phone call from Dr. Martin Luther King, who told her, Nichelle, it's Dr. King, you can't quit. But, no, you don't understand. You can't quit. Do you realize that you are a role model for young Black girls and Black women around the world? You are portraying on television a character, a Black female character, who is professional and polished and accomplished and every bit the equal of any one of the other characters on your show. Women all over this world are looking to you. You can't quit. And the rest, as they say, is history. Now, why am I telling you all of this? Because, as I said, Star Trek has informed my life since September 8th, 1966, when the first episode premiered. And the story of what those original characters and those original stories have to teach us must be told. And as far as I know, there isn't anyone else telling this story right now, sharing this story with the world. So it's my job. It's up to me to tell this story. And so I am, and I have begun the journey. So we went up there for a week, and I actually surprised myself a little bit by how, what's a good word? Smooth the process was. It wasn't easy. I wouldn't say that. And it wasn't, it didn't hurt. It wasn't painful. You know what I'm saying? It was smooth. Two reasons. First reason, Star Trek's been my life for 50 years. Second reason, I actually came up with a system for getting it, John, done. And the core of my chat with you today is to share with you the system I used to get the stuff done. Is that all right? I'm going to share that with you right now. Get stuff done. This was what worked for me. It's very simple. And, I say that very purposefully. What I did was very simple. And it's going to sound simple to you. It may sound very simple to those of us who are quite accomplished at John the Machine Lavenia, for instance, is going to say, come on, Glenn, been doing this for years. Right? Isn't it funny, though, that very often the simplest things in the world, we talk, people, a lot of people like to talk big, and yet it's only a very tiny segment of the population who actually accomplish the goals that they set out for themselves. Ever notice, right? Big talk, no action, as they say down here in Texas, all hat, no cattle. So let's figure out how to get stuff done. Really just 5 steps. First step, set a course. Yes, very deliberately chosen from Star Trek lingo. Decide what it is you want to do. I knew when we got in the truck, before we got in the truck to drive up to Harper, which, by the way, was absolutely gorgeous. Stuart, you would have absolutely adored where we are. A little 2-story house on 60 acres of Texas Hill Country Woods. Absolutely gorgeous. The stars at night are big and bright deep in the heart of Texas. You know what I'm saying? Deep in the heart. No, I'm sorry. I won't do that. Anyway, know what it is you want to accomplish. I knew Paula and I had decided the reason we're doing this is to go get the book done. And I ain't coming home till the book's done. Burn the bridges, burn the ships, decide. We were talking about this, Monday. Reverend Lavenia had mentioned the Latin root of the word, decidere, cut off all other options. This book will be done. So decide what it is you mean to accomplish in this particular project, in this particular task, in this particular venture. Without that, it's kind of like, if you don't know where you're going, how will you know when you get there? Make sense? I told you this was going to be simple stuff. So don't expect any $5 words today. But they may not be $5 words, but they could very well be $5 million words. Is you picking up what I'm putting down? Turn off one of the best things about this trip was the fact that the internet was lousy. The cell reception was barely there. And so I was able to shut out distractions. I got emails. I chose not to reply to them. I got phone calls. I sent them to voicemail. Got text messages. Or I responded 4 days later. And because I had let folks know where we were going and why. There were people who kind of left us alone. Then there were other people who either didn't know or didn't pay any attention to what we had shared with them, who reached out and they heard back from me 4 days later. One of the chapters in the book has to do with a concept which we talk about sometimes in the direct selling, network marketing, home business industry called shiny object syndrome. You get started on a project, you get started on the venture, and man, it's going great, and really, really loving this. I'm about to achieve my, oh, look, a squirrel. I was able to turn the phone off. We did not watch any TV for a week. Now, if you know me and like TV shows, certain shows that I like, you know that's weird. So, yes, after I had done what I needed to do that day, yeah, turn on a little something to kind of wind down at the end of the day. But the distractions, were getting rid of the distractions, shutting out the distractions was key for me. The other things start early. Now, I know there are many of us who, come on, Glenn, I've been working job, career my whole life, been getting up at 6 a.m. And yeah, what are you talking about? Get up. I start early all the time. Well, in the first place, I'm a musician. Okay. Musicians don't get up early unless they're music teachers or something, which I've done too. But, you know, I spent most of my life living according to the schedule of the original New York Night Owl. And so I had to purposefully employ that. Is it Brian Tracy? Eat that frog. If you got something tough to do, get it done first thing in the morning. If you have to eat a frog, eat the frog first thing in the morning. If you got 2 frogs you got to eat today, eat the bigger frog first. So my goal was 2 chapters a day. Every day. I started right after coffee, right into it. Now, many of us have full-time jobs or things that we're doing. So starting early on that special project you're working on may not make sense from a clock standpoint, but in terms of your priority list, get the most important thing at the top of your priority list first and get after it. In the time that you've blocked off in your life, you have blocked out time in your life for the project, right? Start it right away. Get right to it. Some of y'all know where this sentence ends, but I'm going to short stop you before we get there. Don't stop when you're tired. Pause when you're tired. Take breaks. I've got an app on my computer. I forget the name of it. I'll figure it out and I'll share it with Adrian and Ego so they can share it with you guys. There's an app. It's free, so no affiliate commissions for your boy. It's an app that every 50 minutes it says, hey, go take a break for 10 minutes. So I would get into it, write the chapter. Sometimes I'd review an episode or a piece of a film to get more ideas going. Write. In 50 minutes, get up and walk around, go have another cup of coffee, do whatever. Don't stop when you're tired. Pause when you're tired. And yes, we ain't coming home till the book is done. If I got to stay up late, it's going to get done. And you know what happened? Set the goal, set the course, shut out the distractions, got started on the work first thing in the morning, took pauses, took breaks during the day. My goal was 2 chapters a day. I wrote 11 chapters in 4 days. It's not because I'm so great, although I'm kind of cool. It's because we stuck to the program. And yes, don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. And when you're done, we went on the way home, we stopped off at our favorite packaged goods store and we got us a bottle of some serious French champagne and we toasted the completion of the project. We toasted the completion of the book. I'm now talking with my trusted advisors, and we're getting all of the the particulars, the mechanics together. Ego, you know all about this, right? And the book should be up on Amazon and other places for sale within a few weeks. The point of all this, celebrate celebrate the completion. When you get it done, celebrate. But as a matter of fact, celebrate your progress toward the goal, because how you feel about your journey goes a long, long way to making your journey more successful. Yes or yes? If I'm saying, well, I got this done, but I should have done something else. Well, I wrote a chapter today, but I really wanted to write 2 chapters today. Well, I got 1 listing done, but I really wanted to do 2 listings. What I'm doing is hamstringing myself mentally and always beating myself up for getting stuff done. As a matter of fact, you want to get into the habit of not even beating yourself up if you don't get something done today. Because, you know, in the first place, life is what happened to us while we were making other plans. By the way, that app is called Break Time. I'll share the details with our tech geniuses later on. So celebrate your progress. Certainly celebrate the completion. And once again, set a course, turn off the noise, start early, don't stop when you're tired, and celebrate your progress. Celebrate your completion. Celebrate every step along the way is a victory. You hear me? Every step along the way is a victory. So I told you it was going to be very simple, very straightforward stuff, but really, no, not but. And I'm actually pretty proud of the fact that that these are simple steps to talk about. Why? Because the most profound achievements in human history began from very simple concepts, very simple ideas, and the very simple decision to go ahead and get it the heck done. So there you go. The book's done, and I am freaking proud of myself, I'll have you know. Hey, let's talk about this. Who's got their hand up for a comment? Please pop your hand up, and I would love to hear about, you know what? I'd love to hear your comments, your thoughts. I would also like to hear about your wins. Hey, how are we doing with the wins jar? The people who remember we talked about that? How you doing with your jar? Talk to me. The Lieutenant Colonel is filling them up. Nice. I see you, Caroline. Look at this. We may have an abbreviated session today. Well, there you go. Therese, good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
Doing fantastic.
Excellent.
What's on your mind?
Congratulations, first of all, on your done and done. And it sounds like a really important book to have on the shelf. So I'm looking forward to that. Simple steps that are always you always need to remind yourself of. It's easy to get sidetracked.
Indeed.
And again, both you and Ego and so many in the group, of course, are inspiring me to formulate my story onto some pages. So it's definitely it's in the works. I definitely need to turn off the noise. And I was just saying to someone in the group earlier before our call that I'm going to take next, not Monday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off from this and focus on what I've been neglecting, which is my Amazon business. So I need to get these things like in and off the ground, and I just have not had time to address it. As far as the wins go, while I'm not doing the jar, I love the idea of the jar. I just, in my move, got rid of everything extra, and I'm not a big packaged food person, so I know that sounds crazy, but I don't have a jar. I'm definitely a list maker.
Minimalist living.
I'm a list person, and I love to cross things out. I love them. They're highlighted in different colors. They're prioritized. That seems to really work well for me. And so in terms of wins, I guess I would say I am 95% done with my move. The last 5% just needs to go into the storage unit, which is going to happen this weekend. So I can close that door.
Excellent.
And it's a very small amount. So I've moved through a ton of stuff, and I've just really narrowed it down to about a closet size full of things. So I consider that a huge win.
Absolutely.
The next win I would say is a first product is finally on a ship and on its way. And second product is just waiting for the carton labels, which I'm going to try to get to today. So that'll be on its way. And I would say on a bigger scale win is that my integrative nutrition business is experiencing a lot of new energy. And I think that's largely to do with focus and intent and little deliberate steps along the way. And so I'm very excited about that. And yeah, everything feels really good. And it's
fantastic. Thank you, Therese. Wins all over the place. I love it. Hey, can I conduct a real quick experiment with y'all? Just really quick. Here's what I'd like to do. Remember we said turn off the distractions. I want to have us practice this for a second. Everybody take up your cell phone. Unless you're watching the Zoom on your phone. Everybody got your phone? Okay. Are you afraid? You should be. Here's what I want you to do. Turn off your phone right now. No, not just vibrate, not just set it to stun. Turn it off. Let me see. Turn it off. I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to leave it off for 10 seconds. Just to get used to it. Turn it off. Right? And once mine is turned off, I will start the clock for 10 seconds. And it's all we need. 10 seconds. As Mr. Rogers used to say, I'll watch the time. Okay, turn it back on. Anybody start to feel a little creepy? Anybody start to feel a little weird, a little like, wait, my phone, but I can't. No? Okay, good. And for those of you that did, and you know who you are, I have only one question for you. But did you die? Ego and then Sonia. Ego, how are you, my friend? And by the way, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thanks, Glenn. Glenn, congratulations on finishing the book.
Thank you.
It's a lovely feeling, right? Done and done. I love wins, and Therese, congratulations as well. So for me, one of the things that I tend to, actually have it on my whiteboard, once the goals have been set, regardless of what it is, I love to celebrate the small wins because, what I have on my whiteboard says I'm closer to the finish line than I was yesterday. And if we're not setting those goals, you don't know what the finish line is. So rather than kick myself for not doing enough, I know that I did something to get me close to the end goal. So I actually celebrate that. And once I'm done, shut the laptop or the notebook and, that's it, done for the day. So, and the way, you talked about the tool, to ensure that you're concentrating. We've covered this several times on the Tech Talk. What I tend to use is the Pomodoro timer, right? So I know that my concentration span is, maybe like 45, 50 minutes. Set that timer and it's head down and the phone goes off. I'm not attached to my phone in any way. I choose not to have the timer on my phone because it's a distraction. I go to the phone and then, you get distracted by an email. So, I switch the phone off, the timer goes on some other way. There's other gadgets that can, kind of time me. And using the Pomodoro, app on the phone, not on the phone, on the laptop, concentrate for 45, 50 minutes. I set my break. I have a short break, 5 minutes, a bio break, and then the timer goes again, another session, and then I get like a 15-minute break. So, and I've been more diligent with that since being in this community. So, John, shared with us some time ago about the three key things that ensure success: persistence, consistency, and diversity. So my diversity could mean one time I'm reading on paper, or I change my location, still in the house, right? So it's about focus. And if I don't have the end goal in sight, then I don't know that what I completed today is one step closer than where I was yesterday. So thanks for sharing that.
Thank you, Eko. Pomodoro is the name of that app?
Timer.
Pomodoro timer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up. I see. I need reminders. I need signposts to say, hey, wait a minute, stop. Here we go. Sonia, how are you? Let's see.
I'm good. I had to.
Hey, there you go.
I'm good. Thanks for bringing this topic up. This is one I struggle with. I know I have been in the past terrible at celebrating wins, and I have some wins to share. And then I'm going to.
May I interrupt you? May I be so rude as to interrupt you just one moment, Sonia? Do you have a thought, possibly, that you're willing to share with us as to maybe one reason why it's been difficult for you to celebrate your own wins?
I really struggle with the belief that play is only done after work is done, and work is always there to do.
So is it kind of maybe a feeling of like feeling guilty that I'm not getting enough done, and why am I don't have the right to have fun right now? I haven't done enough work today. Was it that kind of thing?
I find I'm not very good at playing. I don't have playful ideas. I was working on this before I moved here, and was rewarding myself for having fun ideas. Because I've always just worked.
So it's just been kind of a habit, just work.
I just work, and I always take on more work than I can do. So I move here, and instead of just getting settled into a new location, I took on a part-time job on top of my full-time job on top of my Amazon business. Wow. So now I'm stressed and miserable, and I never have time to play. So I'm leaving the part-time job so that I have time to work on my body and get my other goals done. But the wins I have to share is that I finally got my first product on share. The listings are finally done. It got approved through Hazmat, and I am able to move it.
Wait, you said the listings are finally what?
Done.
I'm sorry, they're what?
They are done. So here's a question I have for the group. Being someone who doesn't drink, a lot of celebrations, a lot of small wins has to do with drinking. What are some of your ideas, the group, I'm putting it out to the group, what are some of your ideas that you do to celebrate small wins? Because I find going to a walk or yoga is just not enough for me.
Let's have it. Somebody mute yourself, drop in a word. How do you celebrate? How do you celebrate sans alcohol?
Yeah.
Sparkling water and cordial.
Sparkling water and cordial. There you go.
Nice.
In a wine glass.
Yeah, there are non-alcoholic champagnes, non-alcoholic bubblies that you can use. Who else? Somebody else got another idea?
Yeah, I haven't had a drop of alcohol since 1986.
Well, there you go.
I don't know. Maybe I have a problem celebrating too. I don't know. What do I do? I feel glad. I feel happy with myself. I go, you know what I do? And this is for me. So do with it what you will. But I'll go, ride my Harley, and which is like one of my favorite things to do. Just get out on the highway. The other thing that I do, because I'm not a foodie, is I'll go eat. I'll go stuff my face with some nice dinner or something. And so that's like an event for me. I know other people, like every night is, like we're going to have gourmet, whatever. For me, it's, I don't care. Chicken pot pie, who cares, right? But a celebration, right? I don't know. I don't know if that's destructive for
Truly
anyone.
gourmet fare.
Right.
These are really great ideas. Thanks, guys.
There you go.
Well, in
Well,
a new area, I haven't made any friends yet, so I don't have people to go hanging with.
well, there you go. You'll make friends, Sonia.
Yeah.
You are the type of person who makes friends.
Yeah, I do.
I know this. So it's going to be the Laughing Irishman, and then unless EVA wants to bring her hand back up, we'll see who else. Bill, what say you, mate?
Hi. Brilliant, sir. Well done on completing the book. I am so jealous. It's unreal. Sonia, all you have to do is join us and you can have as much fun as you want. Just because you don't drink doesn't mean to say you can't have fun. We can have a good laugh.
Exactly.
I am the worst in the world now at setting goals, at setting limits, at setting, I mean, I was just listening to Ego there. Oh, and happy birthday, Ego and Julia. Times for lunches and food and stuff. No. If I'm in the right frame of mind, I could work 7 hours solid. But there's other times I could work 7 minutes solid. And that'll be it for the rest of the day. I am woeful. And I think it's because I have spent my entire life living by a clock. I have to be here at a certain time. I have to be there at a certain time.
Clock
I
out.
have to present at a certain time. And the irony about that is, of course, when most people retire, what do they get? A clock. And who wants a flipping clock when you've lived your life by the damn thing? So yeah, I am woeful, Glen, that sort of thing. I know I should be better. I encourage others to be, as Ego says, I encourage lots of people to set goals and keep things in their mind and, dedicate themselves to that. But I'm a bit of a car mechanic in that I will cherish everybody else's vehicle but my own. I'll leave it at that.
Well, yeah, transparency. Well, I'm telling you, this gentleman, you just told tales on yourself. You just tattled on yourself, Bill. And you know what? There are tools out there. I'm not going to get into all of it. You know where to go and find tools to better. I'm less fond of the term time management. I prefer to think about managing my activity within the time that I set for myself.
Yeah.
So I can't manage time, but I can manage myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
So maybe something to think about. EVA and then Caroline. Hello, EVA.
Hello, Glenn. Hello, everyone. Happy birthday, Ego. Happy birthday, Julia. Sonia, just to say, like you, drinking is not my go-to celebration. So this wall behind me is the draping behind me is hiding quite a number of a specific item. So what I would say is pick something you like, maybe related to your hobby, or one of the other goals that you are now making time for by letting go of the part-time job, and buy something that's going to motivate you to achieve those goals. So for me, I've taken up sewing recently. So I would go out fabric hunting and start, something for a project I'm working on. Or I would buy a pair of shoes, or I would, buy something that's not a must have, but rather a nice to have. So if I've had my eye on something for a while and I couldn't justify it, I treat myself, right? Having achieved that goal or done that piece of work within the time frame or whatever the win is, I'd buy something, and it doesn't have to be a big thing. Sometimes it's a notebook, because I love writing. I mean, I'm surrounded by notebooks and I journal quite a bit. I collect pens, I collect magnets, so I would go into like a bookstore, and if I saw some journal that had a lovely, cover, I'd be like, I haven't got anything in that color. I'd buy one. So I never run out of journals. So it doesn't have to be something big. It's just something that tangible that you can go to, and every time you pick it up, reminds you of that task you completed or that goal you reached. And you can say, ah, what a good feeling that was when I went out and I got this. So it's like a memento. It celebrates, and it's a physical thing that you can attach to getting that thing done, right? And it's amazing what that does for me, because then I want to do more things and get more things done. And the more things I get done, the more rewards I can get for myself. So it's almost like a trick that I play on myself, but that works. So it doesn't always have to be drinking or eating or, yeah, it can be creative ways of, yeah. So that was my contribution. Thanks, Glenn.
Thank you, Ivier. Thank you. That, you know, that reminds me, I lived in the Middle East for 10 years, which is another story. And now I'm going to prove what a complete degenerate I am. I bought a watch when I was over there. Not fancy or anything. It was a Casio or something, you know, one of the G-Shock or whatever it was. I kept that watch for almost 15 years. You know why I held on to that watch? You know why it had so much meaning for me? Because it was the first thing I ever bought with poker winnings. You know, we take our celebrations where we can find them, right? So Ivier is absolutely right. Something tangible to remind you of the win. I love this, Ivier. Thank you. It's going to be Caroline and Ego back for round 2. How you doing, Caroline?
I'm doing all right, and I just thought I'd speak up because I've been a bit reserved and quiet recently, and I've been on a bit of a roller coaster, not feeling great about everything in life. So I've just like stayed a bit quiet rather than sharing my woes. But yeah, on the celebration front, I like to celebrate sometimes with just a really nice pamper session, long hot bath, candles, essential oils, nice music. That's always nice. And it can be like in the middle of the day, which feels like extra special treat.
Different kind of bubbles.
Exactly. I do those as well, but maybe not in the middle of the day. So yeah, I wanted to share a win today, but it's kind of really weird that I've held back from sharing this win, and it's because of the issues it's bringing up for me. And it's that my product's live. My product's live. It's on Amazon. It's listed. It's been there for a week, and I haven't shared that with anyone because now I'm like, oh my God, what if I fail? Yeah. So it's this whole thing that all this energy, all these months, and all this thing, we're there, and I'm kind of pulling back. It's like I'm losing my momentum. So that's kind of interesting. I've started my PPC just slowly, but yeah.
By the way, thank you so much for sharing, Caroline. I see you.
Thank you, Glenn.
And congratulations. It's just, I feel you because I've done that. You know, hey, my product's live, but what if nobody buys any of them? Right? Your product is live. Congratulations. And every one of us can testify that if you make something or sell something, someone somewhere will buy it. Am I right? So take heart, Caroline. See the money dropping into your account. Holy smokes, that's going to be amazing. Ego. And then the machine. Ego, what's up?
I had to speak again. As Ivier was speaking, I felt like she's in my house. I love pens. I'm always buying pens. Everyone knows I love pens from when I was a kid. Started with a gift from my father when I was about 10, a Parker pen, and I'm just addicted to pens. In fact, one time I said to my husband, we were going to buy a travel mug. It was £30. And I said, I don't think I want to buy that. You know, why would I spend £30 on a travel mug? And he said, says somebody who would spend £400 on a pen. I have loads of pens, all types of pens. So I love pens. Notebooks, I love notebooks, Ivier. I felt like you were talking, I was talking. I have notebooks, I have journals, I have all sorts. I'm surrounded by that. Fabric, that's therapy for me. I love fabric. I love it so much that I actually registered a domain called Sew Therapeutic, SEW therapeutic.com. Not decided what I'm going to do with it yet. Wow. If I swing my laptop round, you would see my sewing space. I have a mannequin. I have boxes and boxes of fabric, Evier. So I think we should have a,
Yes, we should. Yes, yes.
Power team, power team.
I had a
I'm coming
sewing,
to visit.
yes, I had a sewing weekend in the Peak District with a friend who loves to sew. So I, it's my way of either treating myself or or celebrating. I don't really drink that much. I love sparkling water and the cordial. So it's interesting that you said that. Yep, there you go. And then Caroline, congratulations. I know that feeling of launching something and then that inner voice saying, what if it doesn't sell? But my motto for a long time now has been, it's easy to kind of go into what if it doesn't, but what if it does, right? So for me, when I pushed that button to publish my book on the 12th of October, I knew that I had done everything I needed to do to get it live. What happened afterwards didn't matter. And it wasn't what happened on the day off or the week off, right? And then, like some of the things that people have shared in the group, such as, I think Neil shared one time, at 4:04 in the morning, I'm sleeping, and my product is, I'm making money in my sleep. And I kept thinking about that. So, if it doesn't sell on day one, day two, it's a legacy. So you've put it out there, you've put the work into it. So it will sell because you've done everything. You've taken the steps, you're focused, you're diligent. And that first day, yes, I had loads of orders on Amazon and Kindle and pre-orders. I'm actually getting more orders for the signed copies. People are ordering 16, 20. A friend of mine's traveling to Nigeria on Sunday, and she just left. She lives 200 miles from me. She drove here to collect 16 signed copies. So I've sold like nearly 200 signed copies. So it's not off Amazon. I'm selling on Amazon. So you do the work, you've done everything you need to do, you've been diligent and focused. So just let the process, have faith in the process. It will sell. Once the floodgates are opened, you would be, you would not believe it. So I would say, get ready for the floodgates to open to start to restock, as opposed to thinking, what if it doesn't? What if nobody buys? Because you've done everything you need to do.
There you go.
So, sorry.
Thank you, Ego. That's powerful stuff. Push the button, publish, send it live. And what's the old saying? Be bold, and great and mighty forces will come to your aid. The sales are coming, Caroline. You hear me? The sales are coming. Well, we are coming into the home stretch. Speaking of coming into things, ladies and gents, the man, the myth, the machine, John Lavenia.
Hey, hooray! Here I am. Couple things. Ego was mentioning pens. I remembered I've got a nice pen. I never use it because I pretty much live on the internet. But this is a Mont Blanc.
Oh
There
gosh.
you go. Look at that. I don't know. I haven't changed the refill in it in probably 15 years. Somebody told me you're in sales, you need a nice pen to collect the, to collect the signature and whatever. So there's that. I'm thinking about what Caroline said with that fear, that uncertainty, or that there are two different things that come up for me when I hear Caroline say that, in the face of a win. Right. So you got something done, which is profound. Just like writing a book. Glenn, what percentage of people who say they're going to write a book actually do? 1/10 of 1%, 1 out of 1,000. Okay. So well done, sir. And of course, Ego, published author, not only published, but selling. So I'm thinking, right, with Caroline said, there's two things that could happen. One is, did I make a mistake? Wrong decision. Okay. The other thing that could be happening is, what will they think? Fear of criticism. So those two things. are what came up for me. I don't know if that's real for you, Caroline, or if anyone can relate to that. Probably, since we're all doing the human thing together. But so on the, did I make the wrong choice on that product? Well, I can't make all the right decisions, but I can make my decisions right. So now that I've committed, now let's steer that ship, right? I put my eggs in that basket. We're going to watch that basket now, right? So something like that. I do have an opportunity to correct course, just like we were studying in Napoleon Hill, organized planning. Your plans may prove unsound. Okay, well, now what? Do you abandon life or something? No, you adjust, right? You optimize. And so that's the first thing that comes up for me is if I've committed, then I've also committed to making that decision right, even if it wasn't the optimal decision at the outset. The second side of it is what will they think, right? What if I'm embarrassed, right? And this is something where fear of criticism, we'll find this out when we read the epilogue of Think and Grow Rich, the 6 ghosts of fear. The number one thing that stops people from committing to that course of action is fear of criticism. What will they think? So somebody recommended this book to me recently. I don't know how many of you have read this. It's not terribly deep, but the idea is that don't worry about what people think. They probably don't. In fact, if we look at my own mind thoughts about stuff, so damn concerned all the time, so concerned, right? And yet, if we've got a bucket of we could say concern, right? And concern is broken down into units, right? We can spend that in a finite number of ways, right? So what things, I guess, would be the punchline of this book, what things can we or should we, that's a self-determined consideration, by the way, what things should I spend those units of concern on, if any, right? I mean, worry has never gotten me anywhere. It's not profitable, right? So perhaps just, saying, you know what, that's, it is what it is, right? And I'm going to do the best with what I've got and not so concerned with what people think, including myself, because a lot of these mind thoughts, they just haven't served me, right? So I guess let's show up on Nicola's, group meditation and like clear the slate a little bit, right? That's what's coming up for me as I'm hearing this. So thank you for letting me share. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, John. Thank you. You just remind me of an old saying I heard. I think it was a Facebook meme or something I saw one time. I used to care about what people think until I tried to pay my bills with their opinions. Please feel free to steal that. Thank you, John. Good to hear from you, brother. Jane and Neil. Will it be Jane or will it be Neil or some combination of the two? Neil.
You can't keep me quiet, Glenn. Can't keep me quiet.
Much as we might attempt.
We just had to come on really because of Caroline and then obviously what John has just said. Absolutely, it doesn't care. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. So because we think exactly the same, Caroline, we are worried about our products. So I thought, okay, I'll have a look and see what we're doing. And earlier today, we sold £25. And I thought, well, we're not doing particularly well today. So I had a quick look. Literally, when I looked at 16:46, 6 minutes ago, we sold another £25 in Germany. And then I was just coming on, had my hand up. And this is literally, I'm reading this, it says moments ago, 16:51, another £25. And 357 orders since we started. Caroline, the doubt is there. It will be there all the time. Forget it. Just forget it and move forward. You will sell your items.
Love it. I love it. Straight to the point.
I mean, it's spooky as well, Glenn, because I just literally 6 minutes ago and then moments ago, we've sold £50 in 7 minutes.
It's like living in the twilight zone of money, isn't it?
Well, we're still early stages. We're 3 months in. People, will tell you it takes 3 months to get your products up and listed and things like that. October's not particularly supposed to be a good month. It's the quiet before the storm.
Gotcha.
November and December are obviously supposed to be the good months.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you just have to keep at it, really. That's all I can say. We're over £8,000 now since we started.
What?
Ah,
Nicely done. Hey,
So-
love it. Thank you, Neil. I love words of encouragement. Don't you? Make you feel better, give you a brighter perspective. We're just about to cross the finish line here, and the Laughing Irishman speaks again. Bill.
Sorry, I had to come in. Just what everybody has been speaking about worry and concern. If anybody has had the opportunity to watch the film Bridge of Spies, Tom Hanks and Mark Rylance, you know it, Glenn. You know it well. And the only line that sticks to my mind and from that movie is when they are about, at one stage, it happens twice, but on the second occasion, they're about to hand Mark Rylance, who is a Russian double agent, is to be handed over to release an American pilot from the Russians. And they're at the bridge.
Yes.
You remember it, Glenn? And Tom Hanks says to Mr. Rylance, "Aren't you worried?" And Rylance turns to him and says, "Would it help?" That's it.
Remember when we said a while ago that most of the most profound truths are very simple? Are you worried? Would it help? Bingo. Well, there you go. Listen, team, unless someone, you know what I'm about to say, unless somebody has got a thought burning a hole in the pocket of your mind, we are going to wrap it up. Oh, and by the way, Koila, I saw it. Shoes. Shoes. Ladies, am I right? Shoes. Thank you all so much for spending the time with us this afternoon. Once again, hang around if you like and say hello in the hospitality suite. Come back and see Adrian and Igo at 6 p.m. Eastern with their surprise special guest. And
Happy birthday, Ego. Happy birthday. Right.
Thank you.
happy
And it's
birthday, Ego. We'll see y'all tonight at 9 East. Yeah, happy birthday. We'll see you
Everyone,
tonight
don't
at 9
forget,
Eastern.
everyone, this Friday, we've got Zoom Halloween. So please come dressed in your favorite costume. Let's have a
Zoom
wonderful fun
Halloween.
Friday just before Halloween.
Love it.
Is that the
Love
general
it.
session
Love it.
again?
Halloween. Yeah.
And once again, and for the record, John, thank you for creating this community. Thank you for having the vision to see this family supporting each other and helping one another move forward toward our goals. Every last one of us will be forever in your debt. Thanks so much, ladies and gents. Have a fantastic one. We shall see you again
Bye, brother.
very, very soon. Bye for now.